I'm Corbett Wall with DV Auction, here with your 3-minute cattle market update for Friday, March the 3rd, where the market pivoted at midweek, where the board was higher early in the week, and then we sold fats really respectively, steady to a little bit higher there, but then everything pivoted and went south at the end of the week, except for cash feeders, and they've been steady to just a pinch lower pretty much all week so far. But you look at the board mid to late week there, live cattle futures, April contract, Wednesday was down 35 cents, even though they traded fats a little bit stronger. Thursday down $1.42, and the stock market was down too after finishing at a record close for 13 times in a row. But ended the day on Thursday at 116.15, and that's your spot fat cattle market right now, because we've lost February and that's your April. But there was a drive in the past to have a traded contract for every month, but that didn't work. But it seems like a long stretch now to get to April, and we're trading, almost $10 lower on the board than what the cash is. But look at the feeder cattle futures for April. Wednesday was down 95 cents. Thursday down $1.82 to end the day on Thursday at 121.92. But you talked about your fat cattle trade. Mostly happened on Wednesday afternoon, right after the Fed cattle exchange. Sold them mostly steady compared to last week's direct market. But through Wednesday there had 88,800 head, which is respectable already. Then we had more trade on Thursday, kind of cleanup trade there, but it looks like another 100,000 plus negotiated trade for this week's fat cattle trade, mostly at 125. Up in Nebraska, we had kind of a spread from 124 to 126. The 126 was out west there, but that was mostly steady to instances $1 higher. But your dress trade gained $4. Most of the trade was at $200. We haven't seen that for a long time. Had a few trades a little bit lower than that, but everything was steady to stronger there, and that was a big gain, with Northern Plains seeing the premium now compared to the Southern Plains. Box beef cutout values have been really good all week, gaining over $1 and multiple dollars every single day. And for the week, it's going to be really strong. Slaughter has been really good this week, 461,000 through Thursday. That's 16,000 more than last week and 32,000 more than the same week a year ago. Actual dress steer weights come in a little bit higher there, 2 pounds more than the previous week's report at 881 pounds. But look at your feeder cattle markets middle of the week. OKC West and El Reno started their new schedule there, where they're selling their calves and stocker cattle on Tuesday and then their bigger feeders on Wednesday. Sure didn't hurt their receipts any, because when you couple those together, 14,000 feeder cattle for the week there in Oklahoma City West. And your feeder cattle, feeder weights were steady to $2 lower, except for 9-weight cattle, steady to $1 higher. Calves were kind of all over the place. Not a really good test of calves right now. But look at some quotes there, individual quotes out of El Reno. On Wednesday, there are 121 head of 801-pound steers, bring that $1.30, and that's about the only $130 load lots of cattle that we've seen weighing 8 or better this week, and it was there at El Reno. Look at some heavier cattle. 218 head weighed 918 pounds at 125, and that's your higher market on your 9-weight cattle there. And those guys are just thinking that maybe they can get those cattle finished out before we completely kill this fat cattle market. And nobody thought we'd be at $1.25 or better to start March out, but that's where they're at. And unless they take it in big hunks, so we're going to have a pretty decent market going into spring. But look at Dalhart, Texas, Cattlemen's Livestock Commission. That's a sale barn that I grew up in. Actually fluffed hay to help fill cattle in the mornings there when I was a kid, and then ran tickets in the afternoon. But glad to be able to quote Dalhart on here. Cattlemen's Livestock Commission, 3 o'clock on Thursday, had a big load of 956-pound steers, bring 129.50, and that's the highest cattle we've seen all week. That's 3 minutes. We'll talk to you next week.